matchup, Aces Fever Game 1. We're not deciding the whole series right now, just Game 1.
Should we do it together?
I think we should do it together.
Okay.
Because my spidey sense are telling me they might be the same. 3, 2, 1.
Aces.
They're not going to lose after she just won MVP.
Yeah, period.
There's no way.
Okay,
I see.
The unthinkable just happened. On the very night A'ja Wilson was crowned MVP in front of her home crowd, she turned the spotlight upside down, not with her performance, but with a jaw-dropping accusation. After the Las Vegas Aces collapsed against the Indiana Fever in Game 1 of the semifinals, Wilson didn't hold back. Her words, "This game was bought."
Well, one thing is very clear about the sports world. Man, sports fans overwhelmingly, for whatever reason, and my guess would be quite a few reasons, the sports world literally cannot stand A'ja Wilson. A'ja Wilson has won yet another MVP, and sports fans have done a Dikembe Mutombo no, in regards to giving a rat's ass.
That's right. The face of the WNBA, the reigning MVP, accused referees of rigging the outcome, and in doing so, she ignited one of the biggest scandals this league has ever seen.
Money Mitch, put him in a ditch! Who on the Las Vegas Aces is going to try to stop Kelsey Mitchell? Because from what I just saw, they had no answer for her. Kirsten Bell, line right up, smacked. Jackie Young, step right up, torched. Chelsea Gray, torched. Jewel Lloyd, torched. Nobody could hang with Kelsey Mitchell as she goes off.
But here's the question. Was this just raw frustration from being shut down? Or is Wilson hinting at something much darker about how this league is run? Stick around, because what you're about to hear will leave you questioning everything about the WNBA's credibility. Let's set the scene. The Indiana Fever were never supposed to be here. They rolled into Vegas, missing 6 players. Caitlin Clark sidelined, Sophie Cunningham out, Sydney Colson gone, Ari McDonald, Chloe Beebe, and Dawana Dantas all unavailable. Analysts laughed at their chances.
Matchup, Aces Fever Game 1. We're not deciding the whole series right now, just Game 1.
Should we do it together?
I think we should do it together.
Okay.
Because my spidey sense are telling me they might be the same. 3, 2, 1.
Aces.
They're not going to lose after she just won MVP.
Yeah, period.
There's no way.
ESPN panels wrote them off before the ball even tipped. The sportsbooks, they practically begged people to bet on the Aces, expecting a clean sweep. And yet, against every odd stacked against them, the Fever stormed into Las Vegas and stunned the defending champions, 89-73.
And A'ja Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces lose Game 1 on their home court to the Indiana Fever, 89-73. The Indiana Fever were in control of this game from start to finish. There was a small little patch there in the third quarter. We started saying, are the Aces gonna come back? But Kelsey Mitchell and Odyssey Sims said no.
This was supposed to be A'ja Wilson's coronation night, championship banners hanging in the rafters, the crowd buzzing, cameras flashing as she lifted the MVP trophy. Everything pointed to Vegas dominating, but instead, the story flipped in real time. Kelsey Mitchell, a player constantly overlooked in league-wide conversations, erupted for 34 points, the highest scoring output in a Fever playoff game since 2012.
Off Mitchell, rise and fire. Good! Kelsey connects. Time out, Becky Hammond. Mitchell, MVP finalist. Uncorks, and puts it in.
She did it efficiently, relentlessly, and in every way possible. Mid-range daggers, deep threes, attacking the rim, and a flawless 6 for 6 at the free throw line. Caitlin Clark, watching injured from the sidelines, said it best with 2 simple words that went viral. Kelsey, unreal. And it wasn't just Mitchell. Aaliyah Boston went to war with Wilson in the paint, making the MVP grind for every single bucket. Lexi Hull turned Jackie Young into a non-factor. Odyssey Sims attacked like her career depended on it. Natasha Howard crashed the boards with fury, The Fever flipped the script in every single category they weren't supposed to win. By the time the final buzzer sounded, the scoreboard told a shocking story. Fever 89, Aces 73. Indiana didn't just steal Game 1, they humiliated Vegas on their own floor.
The Indiana Fever won every single quarter in this game, except for the first 3 straight quarters of scoring 20 points or more, holding the Aces to under 20 points in 4 straight quarters. The third quarter, 28 points for the Indiana Fever. It was a 3-point game. The Aces were down 9, came back in the third quarter. 3-point game. The Indiana Fever closed it out, putting our pedal to the metal, foot on the gas, extending our lead to a point where Bree Hall, yes, Bree Hall got a minute in this game.
And that's when A'ja Wilson snapped. In her post-game remarks, Wilson didn't credit the Fever, she didn't take accountability. Instead, she looked directly at the cameras and accused the referees of fixing the outcome. Her words were sharp, angry, and unforgettable. This game was bought. Think about that for a second. The league's biggest star, the reigning MVP, essentially told the world that the WNBA semifinals are rigged. And here's why it matters. The WNBA is already under a microscope. Critics constantly claim it's propped up, struggling for credibility, fighting for respect on the national stage. So when your MVP accuses referees of corruption, that doesn't just sting. It detonates a bomb inside the league's image. Fans immediately erupted online. Some defended Wilson, saying the officiating was bizarre and tilted against Vegas. Others slammed her for disrespecting the Fever's effort, arguing she used the refs as a scapegoat for being shut down by Boston's defense. But let's be real, the accusation itself is the headline. When a player of Wilson's stature uses the words, "This game was bought," she's not just venting. She's suggesting the outcome of the semifinals wasn't legitimate, and that cuts right to the core of the league's credibility. So what actually drove Wilson to explode? For one, she was frustrated. Boston's defense forced her into contested shots all night long. She still posted 16 points and 13 rebounds, but it wasn't the effortless dominance everyone expected from an MVP. Every bucket was a battle, every rebound a grind. The rhythm she thrives on just wasn't there. And while Mitchell was torching Vegas from everywhere on the floor, Wilson was forced to claw for scraps. That contrast created the perfect storm. The player being celebrated as the league's best was overshadowed by the opponent she was supposed to crush. And instead of walking out with the glory, she walked out pointing fingers. Now here's the real kicker. Wilson's accusation didn't just make headlines, it overshadowed the Fever's monumental upset. What should have been remembered as one of the greatest playoff wins in franchise history suddenly became about referees, corruption, and controversy. Mitchell's masterpiece, Boston's defense, Sims's fire, all of it buried under the weight of Wilson's words. And yet, those words aren't going away. The WNBA is now in a bind. Do they ignore Wilson's claim and hope it blows over? Or do they step in and address it head-on, risking an even bigger scandal? Either way, the damage is done. For a league trying to grow its audience, its MVP accusing referees of rigging the game is a nightmare scenario. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Wilson's frustration could actually fuel the Aces moving forward. Championship teams respond differently to adversity. The Aces know how to make adjustments. And you can bet Game 2 will be personal. Wilson hates being embarrassed. And after being silenced and overshadowed in Game 1, she'll come out swinging. Still, the Fever aren't backing down. They've found their blueprint: defense, pace, and trust in each other. And after proving they can shut down the champions on their own floor, they now head home with momentum and belief. If they win Game 2, this series could tilt completely in their favor. So here's the bottom line. A'ja Wilson may have thought her words were just a post-game vent, but she's ignited a scandal that will follow this series wherever it goes. Did she expose something real, or just let her emotions take over? That's for you to decide. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was Wilson right to call out the refs, or did she cross the line by discrediting the Fever's hard-earned win? And if you're still watching, drop rigged or real in the comments so we know you're riding with us to the end. Because one thing's for sure, this series isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about pride, credibility, and the future of the WNBA.
How do you and I think I'm just so proud of our group for staying with it. I mean, it's just insane that like we're playing in the semifinals. I think we believed it, but there's so many people out there that didn't. And so we got another series. Decided to play some more games in Game Break, but right now we're just proud and excited and looking forward to the next step.
Indiana Fever just advanced to the WNBA semifinals for the first time in nearly a decade, and it all came down to Lexi Hull crushing the Atlanta Dream in a jaw-dropping finish.
Oh my God, I'm nervous. Ryan Howard. And she passed. Lexi with the game when it stops. Lexi with the game when it stops. Elton!
But here's the real question. How did a team missing 6 players, haunted by officiating controversies, and written off by almost everyone, manage to deliver the most dramatic win of the season? Let's set the stage.
Well, Stephanie White goes 44 regular season games, failing to give us a comeback victory, only to wait for when it mattered the most as the Indiana Fever come back late in the fourth quarter and defeat the Atlanta Dream. We are moving on to the semifinals. We are either facing the Aces or the Storm. Storm would be a phenomenal matchup for this Indiana Fever team. We have their number this season. Aaliyah Boston came through when she needed to. Odyssey Sims passed the ball when she needed to. Natasha Howard in double digits. Lexi Hull showing up to the party. Money Mitch.
Nearly 10 years had passed since the Indiana Fever last won a playoff series. Back then, Tamika Catchings was still the franchise's heartbeat. Natasha Howard was just starting her career, and Stephanie White was in her first stint as head coach. That was 2015. Since then, the Fever endured years of frustration, empty seats, and heartbreak. This Game 3 wasn't just about basketball, it was about breaking a curse. And the odds couldn't have been worse. Caitlin Clark sidelined, Sophie Cunningham out, Sydney Colson unavailable, multiple others injured, 6 players down in total. No one outside the locker room gave them a chance. But instead of collapsing under the weight of bad luck and pressure, the Fever turned that into fuel. They had nothing to lose, and that desperation became their weapon. It showed right from the opening tip. Kelsey Mitchell carried the offense like a player possessed. Every time Atlanta tried to cut her off, she found a way through.
The field, now she has second chance, banked in by Alicia Gray. This is how quickly Kelsey Mitchell can get down the floor.
24 points on the night, 19 of them before halftime. She was the steady heartbeat that refused to stop. When defenders swarmed her lanes, she adjusted, dropping assists, blocks, and hustle plays that kept Indiana alive. Then there was Aaliyah Boston, the rising star who anchored the paint like she was born for it.
Team from the floor in Game 2, that's terrific call into Boston.
Matched against Bree Jones, she took hit after hit, yet never lost her composure. 14 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. But the numbers don't capture how she controlled the game.
It really looked like both players took each other out.
Inside, Boston. The pass from Howard.
Every rebound was in traffic. Every assist came under pressure. Every possession she battled felt like an act of defiance.
Maybe a little higher than that, 45.
Boston turns. Well defended, but 3 red jerseys around her, and Aaliyah still finishes.
Natasha Howard chipped in with relentless hustle, saving possessions that should have belonged to the Dream.
Dribbles behind the line to take the 3. Howard with the one-handed rebound and putback.
Oh my goodness. I mean, watch this rebound come off under your screen. Jordan Canada's arm.
Odyssey Sims added the fire, attacking defenders head-on, pouring in 16 points and 8 assists. A player who hadn't been with the roster all season suddenly looked like she'd been their leader all along.
As Howard could not get it to go. Odyssey Sims, this is what head coach Stephanie White wants from Odyssey.
And it wasn't just the stars. Brianna Turner stepped in, blocking shots and locking down lanes.
It's a bucket. They look to her, and she's wanting the ball as well with the last 4 for Atlanta.
Aerial Powers, even in limited minutes, sparked life into the lineup with her energy and grit.
Powers. Good help side by Ariel Powers.
This wasn't a one-woman show. It was an army of role players refusing to fold. Still, the dream pushed back. Gateway Center Arena was deafening, with nearly 4,000 fans roaring, waiting for Indiana's collapse. Every possession felt heavier, every whistle stung deeper, especially after the frustrations of Game 1, where bad calls and technicals had tilted the scales. That bitterness carried into this night, fueling the fever. And through it all, one player was quietly battling her own nightmare, Lexi Hull. All night, shot after shot rimmed out. Open looks wouldn't drop. Her rhythm disappeared, replaced by visible frustration. For a shooter who thrives on spacing the floor, it was agony. But here's where the story flipped. With under 30 seconds left, trailing by 1, Kelsey Mitchell slashed to the hoop with her signature burst, laying it in off a feed from Boston. The game tightened, the tension spiked, and Indiana clung to life.
Boston for the lead, she hits it! Indiana goes up!
Boston gets it. Mitchell is denied, but then Jordan Canada falls. Bree Jones almost gets it, but that's the second defender that's gone down, and Bree Jones.
Moments later, the ball swung to Hull, the same Hull who hadn't been able to buy a basket all night. She rose, released, and buried the three. Redemption in a single shot.
Green has worked for Kelsey Mitchell, but that time she gives it up to Hull. And how about that shot by Lexi Hull?
But the drama wasn't done. 7 seconds remained. Atlanta had the ball, their season on the line. Everyone expected a clean inbound and one last chance to win. But Hull read it differently. Eyes locked, instincts sharp, she lunged forward, intercepting the pass with a game-saving steal. That single play didn't just end the game, it ended a decade of waiting.
Dream 85. Howard's inbound pass stolen by Hull. Passes to Boston in the backcourt. 3 seconds to go. Sims gets it. That is fouled. The Fever are up 86-85 with 1.2 left.
The Indiana Fever were finally heading back to the semifinals. When the buzzer sounded, chaos turned to joy. 10 years of scars and silence snapped in half. Kelsey Mitchell hugged her teammates, tears of relief and pride in her eyes. Aaliyah Boston sat quietly, overwhelmed, the weight of history crashing over her. And Lexi Hull, the player who struggled all night but delivered the winning shot and steal, clutched the game ball like it was gold. Even Caitlin Clark, forced to watch in street clothes, couldn't contain her emotions. She waved towels, shouted encouragement, and after the game posted in all caps, "Fever Show." Injured or not, she was still part of this fight. Head coach Stephanie White gathered her team, reminding them that this was only step one. Waiting for them is the Las Vegas Aces, the defending champions, stacked with Aja Wilson, Chelsea Gray, and Jackie Young. Becky Hammon even issued a warning. You haven't seen the real Aces yet.
Dropped 2 of the 3 games to them this year, but you haven't seen them since late July. What excites you about that matchup?
That they haven't seen the real Aces yet. They caught us when we were at a bit in turmoil. Not only that, they whooped us one of those stretches. So, you know what? We'll buckle in, hone in where we can, and take care of business. But I know everybody's super excited about tonight, which I am too, but like I gotta get our hard hats on and get these guys prepped and ready for what's coming next.
That's the mountain the Fever now face. But on this night, none of that mattered. This win wasn't about advanced stats or scouting reports. It was about heart. About 6 players being out, bad officiating still fresh in their minds, and a franchise carrying a decade-long drought. It was about resilience. And when the moment demanded a hero, Lexi Hull answered. So here's the big question. Is this just the start of a Cinderella run, or will the Las Vegas Aces remind the Fever just how tough championship basketball can be? Let us know in the comments how proud you are of this team. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next chapter of this incredible journey.